Hey guys, what's up? Thank y'all for joining the live. We're back for another quick pop in. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Sorry. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Hey, Sweet Essence, thanks for being here and everyone coming in. Let's go ahead and jump on into these topics because I know you guys have some things that you may want to do and spend some time with your family. Let's jump on in. Okay, everything said in the video, as you guys can see across my screen, is alleged and in my opinion, and of course is for fair use only. All right, we're gonna jump on into these topics. Happy Sunday to you all. Let's get into some Kirk and Rashida news. Y'all know Kirk had a side baby, honey, and he decided to speak out because he says that his son, okay, he pens like an open letter to his side son, okay, his baby that he had, the side baby that he had on Rashida. So he said that Kirk Frost post an open letter to his son Cannon Frost, who is 8 years old now. He says, "I'm sorry that you came at a time when me and my wife was going through a bad season. We love you." Okay, let's go ahead and read up on what it's saying. Y'all know child's a lot of side babies out here. Let's get into it. So, music executive and love and hip hop Atlanta star, oh Lord, Kirk Frost has penned an open letter to his 9-year-old son, Cannon Mackay Frost. It says that in his apologetic message, he reassures his son that he is deeply loved despite the complicated past and controversy involving his dad and mother, Jasmine Washington, aka Jasmine Blue. Now, in 2016, fans learned that the DLO or D-Lo Entertainment and D-Lo Music honcho welcomed a love child with a former exotic dancer. Now, at the time, Kirk was married to rapper Rashida, if we can call her that, okay? Full name Rashida Widad Buckner Frost. Child, what? It says that Rashida, who is 49, has known Kirk since who was 56 years old since she was 17 in high school, and he was 24. Too old for you, girl. Said that they tied the knot in December of 1999. Said they share children together, plus Kirk owns Kirk's own 4 from other relationships. Said that that including his son Cannon with Jasmine, who is 36. Okay, excuse me. Now on the series Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, said the viewers have seen the whole love affair play out then and still to this day. Says on Saturday, October the 11th, that Kirk Frost penned an open letter to his son and for the world to know that he is loved by his parents and his bonus mom, Rashida, no matter what the internet says. All right. Child. I said, that's him. Cute little boy. He's cute. All right. So let's get into this letter. That's him with his son. That's him with Rashida, because Rashida appears to be very much so present in this child's life as well. So she has taken on a motherly role to Kurt's side baby child. Okay. That's the child's mother, Jasmine. Y'all may have seen her on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta if you guys watched the show in all of its ratchetness. Here's Rashida interacting with the little boy. Okay. I've seen a lot of pictures of Rashida with this child. But let's go ahead and get into what Kirk had to say. He says, "I'm sorry, Cannon Frost. Most women want me to be a deadbeat dad to you. It says it also not be a father. It says it not pay child support, just not be in your life at all. But sorry, I don't know how to do that. Said you came at a time when me and my wife was going through a bad season, but we're making it through." He says, "I know at Rashida gets crucified for loving you and making sure that I remain a good father, which I think is crazy. But since you're asking questions, we just want to make sure that you know that we love you." He put the praying hands and the heart emoji. So Rashida then responds with "my guys" and the heart emojis with praying hands. So it gives that she has accepted this baby that Kirk stepped out of their marriage and had with Jasmine. And she has stepped up to be a bonus mom to this side baby. I don't think I could be that strong. And I know children are innocent. They don't ask to be here. But I don't think I could be that strong, sis. I mean, kudos to you, Rashida, for being that strong. Because I saw another post the other day where Rashida was like, with all the things that Kirk's done, that she's never going to leave him. She's going to stick by him no matter what. I'm just like, girl, some things you just got to be like, okay, hell no. If you steady having children outside of the marriage, like, bitch, at some point you got to wake up and be like, enough is enough. Like, how many children do he have to have on, outside of your marriage and you keep accepting that shit and keep staying, like you're saying to him, it's okay that you disrespect me. I'm never going anywhere. I ain't that strong, but go off. Anybody in the chat, put a one in the chat. If your man / husband or significant other stepped out and had a child with someone else, would you be able to stay in said relationship and accept that child and be a bonus parent to said child that your husband stepped out and had on you or wife? Put a one in the chat if you can. Put a two if it's a hell no for you. Let's get a poll right quick, because child, I don't know. I could not be that strong. Put a one if you could stay and accept a side child from a spouse or significant other and become a bonus parent to said child. Put a two if it's a hell no for you. I see the twos, honey. We on the same page. That's why I love y'all. See? Yeah, nah, I ain't ready to do it. Rashida, you a different breed, child, when it comes to being a woman, because I could not do that shit. Hell no. I see Maria Perry said two. Okay, hell no. But Rashida, child, obviously it's got to be some self-esteem issues there, honey. I don't know. Kirk must have a schlong of gold, honey. He must be throwing your back out every night. Got you climbing the wall and biting a hole in every damn pillow on your bed for you to put up with that type of shit, okay? Because ain't nowhere in the hell. And then the girl is said to be still sleeping with Kirk. And there were rumors that she was pregnant again by him. So I don't know. I don't know. We already talked about, she said on the show that Kirk would come over to her house to see the child and she would be in just a robe with nothing underneath. So it's given that you don't have no respect for Rashida as his wife and that you feel like you can sit on his schlong whenever you want to. And Kirk, I have a problem with him for not stopping that shit and putting a halt to it and saying, hey, what we did was wrong. Yes, we did procreate a child, but that shit is over. Let's just co-parent and focus on this child. I mean, the child is here now, ain't shit you can do about it. But in the meantime, this is a hot mess. Okay, moving on, child. Y'all can have that. No, ma'am, Pam. No, ma'am, Pam. All right, so Gloria Velez reminds folks that she allegedly beat up Remy Ma twice, child, and claims that Remy Ma threatened her son, and that was the last straw that made her pop off, okay? Ooh, not beat up Remy Ma twice. Let me find out. She says, she also says that Remy Ma has always been a bully. Not always been a bully, girl. All right, so this is what she has to say. Let's get into what's going on. Then we're going to read what she had to say. Now it says, in a new Vlad interview, Gloria Velez unpacked her old beef with Remy Ma. Says that Gloria says that Remy has always been a bully, loud, reckless, and known for trying to punk people in the industry. She says that things had been building for a while, but everything came to a head at a birthday party where both women were booked to perform. Now, according to Gloria, she said that Remy was talking slick all night, flashing a pow-pow and trying to make her feel small. But Gloria says that she kept her cool until Remy allegedly crossed the line and threatened her son. Now, that's when Gloria says that she snapped and beat her down, meaning Remy, right there in the club. Not beat her down, child. It says that, but it didn't stop there. That Gloria claims that Remy came back for round 2 later that night and caught another L. So she got her ass beat twice in one night. Child. Says that she goes on to say that that the fight went down in front of Fat Joe, the game, and more. And even radio host Sonny from Hot 97, who was allegedly supposed to jump in and help Remy. Child. Now, says the Gloria says that Sonny backed out, and years later, Sonny actually apologized for even agreeing to be a part of it. Now, all of these years later, Gloria says that people still act like she made the story up because she was the pretty girl or pretty video girl, but she swears that everybody who was in that room knows what really happens. All right, child. So it sounded like they had a little knockdown drag out, and Remy Ma got her ass beat twice in one night. That ain't nothing to brag about. But let's get into what Gloria had to say, girl. Now, Gloria Velez over here on the black page over here says, it is sad how often women are taught to compete instead of connect. And then she put a broken heart emoji. Jealousy, intimidation, and ego have destroyed more sisterhoods than the industry ever did. Now, back then, we were in our 20s, young, reactive, and surviving an environment that thrived on rivalry. But now in our 40s, it's about evolution, healing, and growth. Praying hands. She says, I wrote about this moment in my book because it was a part of my truth, not my definition. It's a piece of the journey's lessons learned, bridges burned, and peace rebuilt. Says that if you have the full story, it's not all in my memoir when silence screamed. She said, The Girl Who Knew Too Much, audiobook dropping soon. That was a plug, okay? She goes on to say, much love to Sonny, meaning Sonny Anderson, I'm sorry. What an incredible woman she's become. Says that the way that she carries herself with grace, wisdom, and purpose is beautiful. She says, I'm proud of her growth, and I pray everyone involved in that moment has found the same clarity, success, and peace. Because at the end of the day, the fight was never with me. It was within themselves. Real queens fix each other's crowns, not throw punches. I respect that, okay? So it sounds like she learned something from that. She ain't trying to be on that kind of time no more. But, just in case a bitch run up, then you still gonna have to have some hands, but you ain't out here just in the club trying to just fight a bitch because she, is talking reckless or whatever. So it's given that she's grown. She's trying to be a businesswoman. She got her books out. But to look at her, you wouldn't think that she want to be getting in no fight to mess up that face. But she said that she beat Remy Ma's ass twice in one night. And there were other people there to co-sign that. Who she says, the Game was there, child. Fat Joe was there, and plenty of other people saw Remy Ma get her ass beat. So I don't know. I know she ain't running up on Clarissa. Okay, I know she ain't running up on Clarissa, but she made a whole diss song about Clarissa and about how she wanted to fight her and all that she was gonna pow her and not fight her. But I don't know, child. You ain't supposed to have no pow because you a felon. So are you telling on yourself, Remy? I like you, but you doing too much. You might want to pipe it on down for your ass to be locked up again. Moving right along. All right, so Toni Braxton, honey. Toni Braxton. Y'all know the Braxtons are back on. And it was mentioned on the show, the Braxtons, that Toni Braxton said that she is still paying her ex-husband, Kerry Lewis, what is it? Spousal support, okay? Yeah. So they had some type of agreement, or it was in their what they call the thing? Prenup, child. There was a prenup that was signed. She said he signed it without having an attorney present, that Toni had one drawn up. And initially it was supposed to be $130,000 a month that Toni was supposed to pay him. But after Toni got sick and bankruptcy and all this stuff, it dropped down to $30K a month. So she is still paying him, even though she is married to Birdman. And Toni also explains that she and Kerry Lewis, as you guys see here, Toni Braxton, ex-husband Kerry Lewis, addresses the alimony. So he gets alimony. He said that I didn't even use an attorney in our divorce. But let's go ahead and get into this, because she sat down and did a Red Table Talk interview. I looked at it, and she kind of spilled some tea and some stuff that I didn't know about, okay? Now they said that when Toni Braxton made her Red Table Talk appearance last week, she was spilling all types of tea about their marriage to mint condition member Kerry Lewis. And he's finally ready to talk about some of the comments of his ex-wife. Now it says in a lengthy Instagram post, he addressed the reason why the Unbreak My Heart singer had to pay alimony, the representation of their relationship in the media, and the whole biatch comment. So in the Red Table Talk interview, Toni says that she looked at Kerry Lewis, her ex-husband, as being a bitch because he was taking money from her every month, and she was made to pay this money. So it said, while talking to Jada Pinkett Smith and Adrienne Bansfield Norris, which is her mother, the oldest Braxton, which is Toni, talked about how she hated paying alimony. She says, yes, I had to pay alimony. She says, I was one of those girls. I was very, very, very angry about that. But it was because we had an existing prenup and postnup. She said that I wanted to renege. She said that I'm going to be honest. She said I went through this whole phase. Said that old men are the new bitches. She said that's how I felt. So she, damn. Said Toni also mentioned that she believed that their marriage ended because of money and her lupus diagnosis. She said that the newly engaged singer went on to say, who wants to take care of a person who's sick all the time. He never said that, but that's how I felt. So she felt that their marriage kind of went left, and they wound up breaking up because he wasn't patient enough with her by her being sick. He wanted Toni to be in the capacity that he met her in. But when she got lupus, she was sick and she was bedridden a lot. She couldn't travel. Maybe she wasn't in the mood to be intimate or whatever the case may be. And that was a bit too much for him. So Toni is saying that she feels that's the reason why their marriage ended. Okay. So that's them together. Says to that, Lewis expressed that his love for the singer wasn't about money, but so much more than that. He said that to give insight on the alimony payments, Toni's attorney suggested that she have a prenuptial agreement put in place prior to our wedding, and they drafted one as they saw fit. Now, because of my love for her and being optimistic of marriage lasting forever, I didn't feel the need to have an attorney as I wasn't going to contest anything in the prenup. So fast forward to 2012, after separating, I moved out at some point later. Says Toni mentioned to me that that the payments set in the prenup would start being deposited into my account. He goes on to say that I received alimony for around 3 years between 2012 and 2014. He says that I didn't even use the attorney in our divorce. He says I also don't recommend that to anyone. All right. Says that no lawyer. That's the real. Said that the former lovers were married for 12 years, but the relationship ended and divorced in 2013. They share 2 boys together, Denim and Diesel. As you guys know, if you watch the show, it says, and to address the comments that angered him the most, where says Carrie says that in addition, while I often did not agree with the creative liberties that were taken into representing our relationship, said that Toni's book, Lifetime Movie, Family Braxton Values, Red Table Talk, said that we are raising 2 sons and it can never be to the degree of her referencing me as a bitch, and that's a problem. He said, yikes, hopefully the 2 are able to work things out. So I'm just going to look at a little bit of this Red Table Talk. I hope I don't have to edit it out, but for now we're going to watch it, okay? Because Toni gave a lot of... Let's get past this ad first. Let's make it a little bigger. All right, I'm going to move it forward just a little. All right.
Yes, the Toni Braxton.
She and I, we talk a lot about all kinds of stuff. We came across the subject of divorce.
Yeah.
And, you know, Gan's been divorced 3 times.
Yeah, you got to do it till you get it right. I feel you.
Right.
I hated being divorced. I hated everything about it. I hated having to surrender to the loss.
Right.
Everyone says, you know, you're at the acceptance stage. I'm like, no, I feel like I lost. I'm waving the white flag. My husband, and not my ex-husband, I keep saying husband, Jesus. My ex-husband, Carrie, was one of the founding members of Mint Condition.
Pretty brown.
Okay, that's it. You were waiting for that.
Yeah. That is one of my
Mine too.
favorites. Yeah. So you guys fell in love and had 2 beautiful boys.
Yes.
The part that I found really interesting is the idea that you went from being divorced, from being husband and wife,
Yeah.
to boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, my husband became my boyfriend.
Right.
And we were attempting to salvage the relationship again. We were hopeful. And we dated for a good 1.5 years, almost 2 years after we got a divorce, like immediately. I know that sounds crazy, right?
No, it doesn't, because
doesn't.
actually, one of my husbands proposed that to me as well. I just didn't think it was a good idea.
It was cutting the cord slowly, like just sawing at it before we snipped it. It still hurt badly. It sounded good.
Did the kids know you were dating?
I don't think the kids knew we were divorced.
Oh.
I thought we were going to get back together, and we were clever. At least we thought we were. We'd wait till the kids would go to sleep, and then he would leave.
Right.
And he'd be there in the morning.
You're just trying to figure out how to salvage, because that's the thing. How do you salvage what's still there, which I think is important specifically when you have children.
Yeah.
We assume, okay, maybe the kids won't notice, and when you get older, you go, oh, the kids know everything.
Right, they do.
I felt shallow because my ex-husband and I broke up for money issues.
That's why you guys broke up?
I found out I had lupus at the time. I couldn't make money because I had lupus and had to cancel the show. That was my personal contribution to the marriage failing.
Got it.
Because who wants to take care of a person who's sick all the time? He never said that.
Right.
But I felt it. I remember a few times being in a hospital ill, and he would come later in the day or maybe the next day, and I would think, oh, he's not coming because I'm sick.
Right.
I never really talked to my ex-husband about it. I probably should have, but if I'm going to be completely honest, money was just the decoration on the tree.
Right.
The tree itself was, I felt, because I was sick, he left. So it made me insecure.
Right.
I always felt like if I didn't get sick and I could have continued to work, we wouldn't have had that deficit. It wouldn't have shown its face, I should say, and we would probably have still been together.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. You know, the red table, I love the red table, but the red table makes you emotional.
It does.
It's like you get to talk about it and
Yeah.
soothing at the end. So,
Did you have to pay alimony?
yes, I had to bail. I was one of those girls.
That's
What do you
interesting.
mean one of
'Cause
those girls?
There's a couple of us. It's me that I know of is Brittany. Remember? It's Hallie. Mary is allegedly.
Right.
I was very, very angry about that. But it was because we had an existing prenup and postnup.
Then what made you angry about it if it had already been an agreement?
Because I wanted to renege. I wanted him to renege. I'm going to be honest.
I'm not mad at you.
I thought he should say no.
Wow.
Even though, if it were reversed and a guy had more, we would expect him to make sure the lady's okay, right?
Right,
We would
exactly.
expect that. And so I can't really bitch about it too much.
Right.
However, semicolon,
Right.
whoa, tough. That's a tough pill.
Well, in my divorces, I never got nothing from nobody. Never asked for nothing from nobody.
Suppose you had to pay somebody.
That would be.
You'd be mad,
I
right?
would be mad.
That's what I was angry.
Yeah,
I was
I'm not
angry
doing
about that. I mean, I went through this phase like, ooh, men are the new bitches. I
Right.
went through that whole phase. Excuse me.
Oh my God.
That's how I felt. That's what I was so angry about. Like, I have to get out the bed so I can pay this debt.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm not mature enough to have a divorce. I'm just not. I don't think I would ever be mature enough. I don't. Because
Why?
when you have to start going in, breaking up assets,
Yeah.
Oh,
that right there.
When you start having to divide things,
Yeah.
separate, cut off.
Let me tell you, that's
funny.
when the red table will turn upside down and it won't be red no more. This joke will be smashed in shambles. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I actually think it takes more maturity to stay together and
Define it.
redefine.
But that's a
Yeah.
maturity I do have.
Yeah.
You understand?
All right, we're gonna stop it there. If you guys want to watch more of this, I'm gonna show you guys where y'all can go. It's really the interview was very interesting. Y'all can go on over to TV1. Okay, y'all can go over to TV1. Matter of fact, I'll put the link in. Okay, hold on. Let me put the link, and y'all can go over and watch it. Okay. Yeah, it's a great interview, honey. It's a great interview. There you go. All right, so that's the link to the interview. Hold up. Let me get back to it. Did I put the wrong thing? Hold on. Let's stop sharing. God darn it. What did I do? Hold on. Go back. Okay, yeah. I put the wrong link. Hold on, y'all. I'm tripping. All right, let me take this down. Delete. All right, so here's the correct one. If you guys want to check out the rest of that interview on Red Table Talk, there you go. Okay, y'all can click on that link and go right on over there and watch it. It's pretty good. I watched the whole thing. Toni was being very transparent, but she said, honey, he was going to be getting $100,000 a month. But when she got sick and her money, fell, went crazy, went low or got lower because she had to cancel shows. And y'all remember she had that Vegas residency too that she had to cancel because of her lupus. She didn't have a whole lot of money coming in, and she had to file for bankruptcy several times. So his money dropped down to $30K a month. So she was saying she felt a way about having to pay him that because she's like, damn, shit, I feel like I got to get out of bed and work harder now to keep up these damn payments. But it was pretty good. All right. Well, while we're talking about the Braxtons, Trina Braxton is catching hell because of her recent live that she did, she and her husband, where she spoke on taking up for Gabe over her niece in terms of Gabe doing something inappropriate to her niece. Okay. We talked about that in my video this morning. I'll play it again just to refresh your memory. We're going to get into these comments because they're tearing Trina's ass up on live. And I know she's probably sitting home crying and panicking, child, looking at all this shit unfold. But with this season coming back, she also made a comment online as well saying that she don't know if the show is going to come back after this season with all these family secrets unraveling. So it's given that from all of the attacks that she's receiving, she and the rest of the family for not being a support system for Ashley Braxton, who was said to be violated by Gabe, which was Trina's ex-husband, who's no longer here. Trina made a statement saying that this might be their last season or their last season of the show, because it's a lot that they're dealing with where people are attacking their family because of this. So they're saying that social media drags Trina Braxton after she seemingly defends her late ex-husband Gabe after her niece Ashley's allegations of inappropriate behavior. Okay, let's hear what Trina had to say again, and then we're gonna get into what the people are saying about her. Baby, they lighting into her ass.
100% forget what outside the public says, for real. Okay, I'm going to say this. I cannot negate anyone's feelings in any way, shape, or form. Right. And I will say this. I think that you can never put a time limit on someone's feelings, their emotions, or even their version of what the truth may be to them. But I do wish that the people that were spoken about were able to tell their own version of their story, of their truth, because they're no longer with us.
Yeah, because they're dead.
And that's not always fair. It's not always fair. And people have to talk about things when they're ready to talk about them. And yes, you guys are loud, Caleb.
You're loud as hell out there.
But I can't keep it for real 100%. Forget what either side of the public says, for real. Okay.
So y'all heard what she had to say. All right. So she's pretty much saying, I don't think that it's fair that the person that we're all talking about that's saying that they did something to my niece is not here to speak up for himself. So I'm like, girl, of course we know he's not here, but again, it's like you're saying that you don't believe your niece went through what she went through at the hands of your ex-husband, because she was saying that back then you didn't believe it whenever she tried to tell you that you took Gabe's side. And I said this morning in my interview, Trina did not want to break up her family dynamic. She didn't want to lose Gabe. She didn't want Gabe to get into any type of legal trouble, because during the time Ashley was 16 when this alleged incident occurred. Gabe was a grown-ass man. We already know Gabe had other issues, cheating on Trina with other women and being caught on different PRN sites, and doing some shit he shouldn't have been doing. So he had a problem, obviously. But it's giving that Ashley went to their house to go and spend time with them, I think for like a summer or something like that. And that's when that situation occurred. According to what I was reading this morning, Ashley Braxton's father went through her phone and saw some inappropriate messages from Gabe to Ashley, which is the girl right here, who was 16 at the time. And they decided then that they were going to keep it hush hush. I don't know if they handled Gabe behind the scenes in terms of what happened, but something happened to where Ashley was, I think, violated as a child, and the family decided that they were going to keep it quiet. And Trina, I think, did not believe her or treated her differently and cut her off in terms of not speaking to her, not having any interactions with her. Fast forward, she has now moved out of the country because the weight of everything was so hard. She didn't want to see her family. She didn't want to be around her family. I'm finding out that her biological mother also cut strings with her and gave full custody of her and her sister, who just passed away. So I think 2 years ago now, to their father, who they're saying that the father then remarried, and that they were going through some abusive situations at the hands of their father and the new wife as well, like physical. Okay. And y'all know that her sister passed away, according to what Ashley said on the show. People were saying that she passed away from some type of medical situation, but she actually had a drug overdose. Okay, so she's spilling tea. She's like, yeah, we ain't about to do them lies. She ain't have no medical nothing. She passed away from a drug overdose. So let's continue, and so you guys can see what they're having to say. Oh, let's listen to this as well.
I said,
Everybody's entitled, and
T-Can, I'm a Braxton follower, period. They shouldn't watch y'all if they want to hate or be negative. Well, you know what? But even in that vein, people have a right to their opinion.
sometimes people watch just so they can.
Child. All right, so let's get into what's being said to Trina, because they are going off on her ass. All right, so this person says, hashtag the Braxtons, Trina ain't shit. I don't give a F that Gabe ain't here to tell his side of the story. This would have been a slam dunk for you to blame him and mend your family. Says that she is protecting a unalive Gabe, and says a lot about her. Says that guess Ashley was telling the truth. After all, Trina is trash. Damn, not trash. They eating her ass up online, okay? She getting it from everywhere. Twitter eating her up too. Says that this person here says plot thick says that they've been conditioned to bury secrets, and then they, Toni, this is Toni, says that Ashley says that Gabe was inappropriate to her when she was 16. She's 33 now. Says that Braxton Family Values premiered in 2011. So Gabe was inappropriate to Ashley, and the Braxtons still filmed several seasons with Gabe. Said, what's that telling you? I agree. When they knew this that happened back in 2011, they were still filming, but they had such a problem with Tracy's husband filming because they didn't want him to tell his story. But they sat up and laughed and hee ha 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 all up in Gabe's face and accepted him when Trina took him back and even had a second wedding to Gabe on the show. So she remarried Gabe after he had already done this to her niece. So it kind of speaks volumes with the type of mindset that Trina has, because it gives some type of dysfunctional relationships or dysfunctional being when it comes to her. Because how the fuck you choose a man over your niece? That's your blood. And I get it, you didn't want to be without your husband, and Gabe stepped up to be a father to your children. But at the end of the day, your niece needed you as a female. You should have been able to identify with what she was going through and be there for her and not shun her or make her feel like she was the person that did something wrong, when indeed your husband was sending inappropriate messages and was alleged to have touched her in some inappropriate ways. And you didn't check that shit because you didn't want to lose that extra income in your home. And you didn't want a person, the father figure to your child, to have to walk away or wind up behind bars for statutory RAPE. That's what it gives. And you got a lot of women that will protect a pedo because they don't want to have to get a second job to pay the bills. They don't want to get that person in trouble. They don't want to be alone. People have several reasons why they don't want to turn a person in that they claim that they love when they know that they did something very fucked up, especially when it comes to a fucking child. And I have a serious problem with that. But let's continue because they ain't done eating her ass up. So Ashley Miller, shout out to her. I love, y'all cannot never make me hate Ashley Miller. Okay, she is a YouTuber. If y'all have not seen her commentary, she is dope. All right, y'all check her out, Ashley Miller. She is on YouTube. Okay, shout out to her. This is what she says. She actually knows the Braxton. She knows Tamar as well, because she actually, I think she said she interacted with her, or she knew her, or she was like really close friends with Tamar for a while. But Tamar started showing her real true colors, and she cut her ass off. But so let's get into what Ashley had to say. Ashley says, I knew everything that Ashley says was true because Trina gives I'll choose a man over anything vibes since the jump. Now, Trina stayed friends with a man who disrespected the fuck out of her on and off screen. And the only reason she's saying this is because she doesn't want to be the only one to get all of the backlash. Said that they got on that show and victim blame. Said that F Gabe's creepy and disgusting ass, shaking my head. Woo, child, that's a lot. Okay, you spoke a word right there, honey. Let's move along. All right, so Thomas Atlas says that Trina is morally bankrupt. Says that how do you side with a grown ass man who preyed on your teenage niece? And the family's attempt to silence Ashley is truly disgusting. I agree. Okay, y'all like Ashley? Ashley is so dope. I love her. She is funny as hell too. The Reading Rainbow says that Miss Evelyn really did a number on her girls. A mother effing shame. I agree on that. I agree. Mama Evelyn, I'm sorry, honey, I love you too. But you okay. So involved in a lot of this bullshit that's going on and the way your daughters turned out to be. All right, let's get into Ashley. This is her, the girl who was violated by Gabe. Let's get into it. Braxton family scandal. Ashley Braxton reveals one of her famous aunts stopped speaking to her over accusations that she messed with her husband at 16. She said that you know the Braxton legacy, but this is my legacy in the making, my story. Let's get into Ashley Braxton as she tells her story.
I'm going to tell a story today, and that story is about how one of my aunts and my family do not talk to me because they think that I, at the age of 16, did something with her partner at the time. And I have been a nervous wreck to talk about something like this and to tell this story. A, because of my family, B, because I don't want people, it's not to hurt people to tell my story. But at the same time, I've been working through this so much in therapy, and this is something that goes way deep to my core in terms of worthiness and how I feel about myself. And it's been such a journey. It's that moment of my life where I have to like fully confront it and face it and talk about it, but talk about it because I also want to shed light for the women and the men and anybody who has gone through something. Okay, so I want to tell a story today, and that's...
So y'all see this, what she's talking. So let's go ahead and read up on this. So shout out to It's On Site. Said Trina Braxton is facing backlash online after appearing to defend her late husband, Gabe, during a recent live stream. Now, Trina and Ashley shouldn't speak on him. Trina says that Ashley shouldn't speak on him because he's not here to tell his side, adding that some things should remain private, especially when the person can't defend themselves. I disagree with that, because you can't tell a person who was harmed by the person that you chose and took vows with to be quiet and not share their story and continue to keep that pain inside. You can't tell a person to do that. She should be free to speak whenever on whatever it takes for her to free herself. She's fighting demons from within. So the only way, if she feels the only way to get over that is to speak out, she should not feel like she has to be muzzled. She should not feel uneasy because her aunt turned her back on her and chose not to speak to her because her husband was a fucking pedo. And that's just on period. Let's continue. Fans immediately tied Trina's remarks to her niece, Ashley Braxton, emotional revelation last year when she shared that one of her aunt's husbands had acted inappropriately towards her when she was a minor. Now, Ashley never publicly said a name, but social media assumed that she was referring to Gabe since he's the only husband among the Braxton sisters who has passed away. Correct. All right, process of elimination. Damn. So Ashley also said that her family, including her father, distanced themselves after she spoke out, leaving her feeling disowned for telling her truth. Now says that context has fueled even more outrage towards Trina, with many accusing her of protecting the wrong person and defending the unalive instead of the victim. Now, supporters of Trina, meanwhile, argue that she was simply calling for privacy out of respect for the deceased. Says that, what do you think? Was Trina trying to preserve family dignity, or did she completely miss the point? She missed the fucking point. I'm sorry. And Trina, I like you. I really do. I like all the Braxtons. And again, as I said before this morning, every family has family secrets that you just, you keep under lock and key. And in the Black community, we have been conditioned to not talk about an Uncle Earl who might have been an old Lester in the family, or talk about a certain nephew or somebody who may have touched or did something to someone inappropriately. They keep it under the rug so the said person doesn't have to face their consequences behind that. Okay, some people have been trained not to tell family secrets and just hold on to it, no matter how much it hurts. You just don't talk about it because they say it's our business, it's the family's business. But I feel like sometimes you got to talk about that shit, because if you don't, it will destroy you. For this girl to have to move all the way across the country, and mind you, she's over there by herself. She's over there by herself. Okay, first she moved to Paris. She moved to Paris by herself. Then she left Paris after staying there for a few years. And now I think she says she lives in, where did she say she lives? I forget. Where did she say she lives? I forget. It's across country though. Okay. But she's over there by herself. She don't know anybody there. And I think she was leaving to escape her family because she didn't feel that they loved her or supported her. Not even her own father, her own birth father. Then when she lost her sister, who was the person she could always go to, Barcelona, Spain. Right, she's in Spain. Thank you for that. So she moved from Paris, and then she moved to Spain. So that's where she currently lives. And she talked about on the show how Tamar flew her back from Spain to Atlanta to be able to film, and she put her up real nice, made sure she was fine, put her in a nice space while she was here to film the show. She said that Tamar has been very supportive, and I feel like Tamar can identify with what she's dealing with, because Tamar too was touched as a child by a family member. Okay, allegedly. But so I'm happy that she's been able to tell her story, but I'm not happy that Trina is standing 10 toes down on not being supportive as an aunt. Okay, because she does need somebody. The girl is literally by herself, so that has to be a lot. I mean, hell, you look like the Braxtons. When you look at her, I feel like I'm looking at Tawanda. Those genes, those Braxton genes are strong. And then for Toni to verbalize that she wanted Ashley to keep quiet because she didn't want to mess up her brand and her reputation as a music artist. Bitch, what? I like you too, Toni. But no. Fuck a brand when it comes to somebody freeing themselves of years of pain. That's 16 years of pain that this girl has carried as a child, something happened to her, and now as she's all the way in her 30s and still dealing with the shit, and she finally want to scream out and talk about it, and y'all still trying to put y'all hand over her mouth. And I think that that's fucked up. I'm sorry. It is. At some point, you got to allow a person to speak their truth. Stop filing cease and desist on this girl. Her father filed a cease and desist because she was talking about how he was being abusive towards her as well. And the stepmother. For her own mother to disown her, the person who gave her life, you were in this woman's stomach for 9 months, and she turned around and disown you and give full custody to the father and walk away, never to see her or hear from her again. And I hear the mother had other children. So she got with somebody else and had other children, but gave up Ashley and her sister, the one that passed away, to the father, who then wound up marrying somebody else. And that woman came in and they're saying was being physically abusive towards Ashley and her sister. That's some effed up mess. So I get it why she wants to speak out. She should speak out, and they should support her. And Miss Evelyn Braxton, you need to step in this thing, because your daughters do listen to you. It's like you are the matriarch. Whatever she tells them to do, it's like she has a some type of remote control when it comes to her girls, that they listen. And now it makes sense why they had such animosity towards Tracy, and why Tracy was treated like the outsider in the family, because they felt that Tracy chose the father side over the mother side. Trina, Toni, Tawanda, and Tamar pretty much chose Evelyn, Miss Braxton's side, over the father side whenever that whole divorce thing went and took place. Tracy stayed in Maryland where the father was, and she was supportive of her father. So they treated her differently. They talked nasty about her. Toni was telling Tracy on the show, you need to lose some weight. Just any little thing to make her feel bad, because she chose to support the father. And it also was a rift in the relationship between Miss Braxton and Tracy as well. Y'all saw several scenes where she and Tracy would go back and forth and argue. Again, all families have issues. All families have secrets, okay? That they keep and they carry to the grave. But when a person feels that they need to speak out for their peace, I don't see why people need to go rushing and filing some damn cease and desist on said person to shut them up and keeping them from finding their peace. That shit ain't cool, and I totally disagree with it. But we're gonna move on. If you guys want to look more into that, you can go on over on It's On Site and you can read up more on it. Okay, let's move along. We have not heard from Kroy Bierman, who was married to crazy ass wig over there, child, is what Nene called her. Okay, Kim Zodiac with her crazy ass. Kroy has finally spoken out. He took to his Instagram. Y'all know who Kroy Bierman is, married Miss Don't Be Tardy for the Damn Party. Okay, let's get into what Kroy Bierman had to say, because he had a whole lot to say. He's finally spoken out about all the things that's going on, that has gone on between he and Kim. Their alleged pending divorce, because I hear that they're not, divorce is not finalized as of yet. At one point they were talking about trying to reconcile, and then they went right back to the same bullshit again. But Kroy has decided to speak out, and this is what he wrote. Let's get into it. You guys can see it here where my mouse is moving. Kroy Bierman, all right, went to Instagram and he said this. He said, I wrestled with this post for days, trying to find the words to communicate the weight and complexity of what I've lived through. How do you put years of confusion, pain, and survival into a few paragraphs? How do you explain what it's like to be trapped in something that looks like love, but feels like you're slowly being ripped apart? You can tell that's some pain. He goes on to say that there was a time that I didn't think I'd make it. The pain was so constant, the confusion, the isolation, the gaslighting. It felt like my soul was caving in. He says, I was trapped in deliberately orchestrated chaos, yet somehow I was the one blamed for the storm. He says, every word that I said was twisted. Every effort I made was never enough. And eventually I started to believe maybe I was the problem. He goes on to say that there were nights I prayed for it all to just stop, even if that meant I stopped. He says, when you've been broken down long enough, death can start to sound like peace. Oh my God. Those are some strong words. When you are in a situation where you are that hurt and that much pain and that much agony, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, your whole spirit is just I don't want to say haunted because everybody's feeling a way about haunted, but your spirit just does not feel complete, that you're feeling tormented inside and you feel like death sounds better than peace. Oh my God. So let's get into it. Kroy goes on to say, but God, he says that God met me in that darkness when I didn't have the strength to fight for myself. He fought for me. Come on, Kroy. He said that he reminded me that my life still had purpose, that my story was not over. And in the middle of all the pain and abuse, I heard his whisper. Come on, whisper. Oh, Lord, I love it. Okay, let's continue on. He goes on to say that you are mine. You are not what they said about you. Come on, Kroy. He said that if you're in that place right now where the weight feels unbearable, please cry out to him. So it sounds like he's found some peace in spirituality. It sounds like he's been praying and kind of getting his spiritual life in order. Says that you do not have to have the right words. You do not even have to believe perfectly. He says that just call his name and he will meet you there. He is the way out. Come on, Kroy. He says that I'm still healing. I still have scars, but I'm here and I'm proud that I stayed. He said, because staying doesn't mean staying in abuse. He says, I mean staying alive, staying faithful, staying open to what God can do with your pain. Come on, Kroy. He says, you are not alone. You are not too broken. You are not forgotten. God's not done with your story. Okay. Then he does his hashtags, which is hashtag Domestic Violence Awareness Month, hashtag God Save Me, hashtag Faith Over Fear, hashtag You Are Not Alone, hashtag Men Survive Too, hashtag Suicide Awareness, hashtag DVAM, hashtag Hope After Abuse, hashtag God is Faithful, hashtag Testimony. Come on, Kroy. I love that. I love that. He went through hell in that house with Kim, with the police constantly coming, his children seeing all of this. You guys saw the video that I played for you guys when one of their children called the police, and you can hear Kroy in the middle of the night outside screaming at the top of his lungs at Kim. You could tell he just had enough. It sounded like his mind had flipped. He had gone through so much pain between all the shit that he and Kim was going through. They were losing everything. People were repoing cars. The embarrassment of him not playing with the Falcons anymore. I mean, people were laughing at him online, talking about every other day. TMZ was posting shit about them. It had to be a lot, to the point where he just did not want to live anymore, but he sought some peace in God, is what it sounds like. And he began to get into his spirituality and start praying and talking to God and allowing God to redirect his mind, his spirit, his path, and what he was thinking. So thank God for that, man. That's how you got to be. You gotta snatch that thing back, honey, and say, devil. Okay, that's him and Kim. But it says here, Kroy Bierman posted a message as part of DV Awareness Month. Okay. Again, he and Kim are still not divorced. They have filed for divorce, but they have not finalized their divorce. But he is working a regular schmegular job at some type of warehouse somewhere so that he can support himself. Kim has pretty much tried to turn the kids against him from some things that I've read, but he sounds like he's remained strong and he's pressing on, honey. He's telling other people, honey, turn to God when you feel like you don't want to be here no more and you feel like you're ready to give up. Don't throw in the towel and go and take yourself out or end your life because of the stress and the pressure that you're dealing with, because that has to be a lot. You're a public figure and you go from being at your highest height to being at your lowest low, and you're doing it in front of the entire world who's looking at you, a lot of people laughing at you, judging you. That can be a lot. You probably don't want to show your face anymore when the shit get that low, but I'm happy that he found his inner peace and that he is doing what he needs to do for himself. But that is what Kroy wrote on his Instagram. Yeah, he was being very transparent about that. I think that's it. Okay. I think that's it. Prayers up for him, man. I wish nothing but the best. That's an unfortunate situation to get with somebody, and you think you're just going to last forever. You think that you're in love. You guys have procreated and had a lot of kids. Kim had kids back to back to back with Kroy. I think they have like 4. I think they have 4. They have a set of twin boys, and they have like 4 kids. Kim came into the marriage, into the relationship with Kroy with her 2 girls, and he turned around and adopted those girls because their father wasn't in their life, and he became a father figure to those girls. And they've done several videos and lives talking shit about him. And I'm just like, y'all just really need to understand this man gave his entire life for you girls to be able to live the life that y'all lived. Like, there's no telling where you guys would be. Kim was, still messing with Big Papa at one point and trying to get that money from him. Kim likes money. Kim likes lifestyle. So when she saw Kroy, she saw a nice looking guy with a nice butt. She was infatuated with his butt and his good looks, and they got together. And of course, Kroy's family told him, "Don't you get with Kim? Don't marry this girl." But he was in love with her, and he thought things would be good. But as it turns out, Kim had a gambling addiction and some other things that was going on that caused their marriage to kind of go downhill. And he tried to save it. They tried to save things, but it went downhill. They lost their house. As you guys know, Shamia and her husband from Real Housewives of Atlanta purchased Kim and Kroy's house for $5 million. So they do own their house. But yeah, so Kroy, he's moved out and got his own place. Kim stays at her own place. And I think they said Kim is supposed to be making some appearances as a friend of on the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17 coming up. So we'll see what happens. They say absence make the heart grow fond. If they've not finalized the divorce yet, maybe they could be trying to, get things back into perspective. If Kim is going to be back on the show, gaining some money, Kroy, he's working and he's making money, maybe, because money will make people break up. That's a fact. Money will make couples break up and cause a chaos in your household if your shit ain't right. But shout out to Kroy, man. I ain't got nothing negative to say about that. I have every bit of respect for him for being transparent and talking about what he went through in his life. Okay. Yeah. So that was my last topic because this was supposed to be a quick pop in. I hope you guys enjoyed the topics that we pulled for you guys. Let me see if I can find one more. Okay. One more. Let's see. Not too much going on today. Not too much. Not too much. I did see something, one positive thing I wanted to show. We can look at that because this is something else, but I'm gonna leave it on a positive note. Let's take our trigger warning banner down. We don't need that anymore. All right. So let's share this because I always like to see people kind of turn their lives around and especially being in Hollywood, being, fame sometimes can overtake you. But shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguar star Travis Hunter, who got baptized, you guys, before his game against the Seattle Seahawks. That's a great thing. He just had a baby with his wife. There were rumors that he and his wife were getting a divorce. It looks like they have reconciled and they're going to stay together. She just gave birth to a healthy baby boy. So congratulations to them. But they said that Travis Hunter was spotted at church getting baptized before his game against the Seattle Seahawks today. So let's take a look at that, okay?
Wait, they was gonna hate, I knew it. But I don't just talk, I do it.
Music. So that's him getting baptized, honey. He always have that smile, don't he? And pray them demons up out of there, baby. I love to see when these boys turn to God and give their life over to God like that, honey. With the way this Hollywood is, with all those demonic spirits and stuff, child. Thank God, honey. That's him getting baptized. Okay. Yes. So shout out to him for that. Okay. So we're going to end the show there. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. All right. Please don't forget to tap on that like if you guys enjoyed the show. Even if you didn't enjoy the show, because you were here, you stayed to the end. So that means you liked it. All right. Please don't forget to like the video. Says that Kim borrowed money from her parents. And let me look at some comments before we go. Says Tam C says that Kim borrowed money from her parents and did not pay them back. Yeah, I saw that. She has a horrible relationship with her dad and mom. Okay. Says that I hope the wife got baptized as well. She should. So you're praying for Travis Hunter? Yes, honey. Keep God in it, honey. If God ain't in it, it ain't gonna work. Miss Island Duncan says that Kim don't even fool with her parents. Yeah, they don't really fool with Kim because Kim be doing the absolute most. SR Howard says that, and says I always believe that she has all those babies on purpose, just an evil opportunist. Yeah, she's definitely securing the bag. Believe that. She saw what Kroy was sitting on. Aunt Rose Armstead says that one spouse can't get God in their life and the other one goes astray. Right. It has to be a definite both people doing it. So hopefully she went and got baptized as well. Okay. Because they both need it. Absolutely. Cassandra D says that Kroy needs to stay focused and get far away from Kim. Says that she has a major issue or major issues that need to be worked out. I agree. Says that those transitional marriages. Right. Rose said that Kroy needs to move on. I agree. SR Howard says, and I always believe that she had that many babies on purpose. Just an even. Yep. I agree. Says one day them children will get it and see. Says Sheree was the reason that they met. Yeah. And you see how her situation happened too. I just saw that Sheree just filed for bankruptcy again. I just saw that, y'all. I just saw that Sheree is in a lot of financial problems right now. She got a lot of financial problems. She sounds like she might be about to lose that house. I told y'all the house is in her mother's name, her mother Thelma, and her oldest daughter Tiara. Their names is on that house. But it looks like Sheree might be about to lose the chateau if she don't figure something out quick. She is supposed to be making some appearances on Real Housewives of Atlanta as well as a friend of. So maybe she could take some of those checks and catch up some of those bills because baby, the IRS is on her ass. Okay. And she got other people that other contractors that's suing her as well for like thousands and thousands of dollars. So Sheree is in a very, very bad space. Okay. So prayers up for her that she figured out, honey. Says the Kim tries sucking the life out of that man. So glad that Kroy turned to the Lord. Praise the Lord. Yes, honey. I love that. I'm over here like, yes, Kroy. Okay. I love it. Said, please be mindful and creative of the words and expressions in the chat. Okay. Yep. Y'all working. I see you. All right. Says that Tyra said that Kroy, you should have ran from Miss Wiggy. Said that she ain't ish and ain't okay. I think Kim wanted Kroy for that damn money. She saw he played for the damn Panthers. She was like, not the Panthers, but the Falcons. She said, let me get over there and get some of that Falcon money. Okay, doing the absolute damn most, and then got this man bankrupt to where he got to work a regular job. But Cassandra D says that Kroy was a good man and a good father. He tried his best. Says, thank the Lord. Kroy turned it over to the Lord and got his mind right. Yeah, that's the only place you can, because hey, he said he was feeling suicidal. So thank God he didn't take it there, honey. Because I'm telling you, that video I played for you guys when the police came to his house and they were trying to talk to him, he was screaming to the top of his lungs like he was just at his wit's end with Kim. He was screaming. I was like, oh my God, Kroy. I said them neighbors must be tired of them in the neighborhood because it was constant. The police was constantly coming to their house with him screaming at her, she screaming at him. Like it was chaotic. I said, oh my God, it's a lot. SR Howard said that I believe he's about to be everywhere now and he's going to get back everything that the devil stole from him. Come on, Lord. Says Godspeed, Kroy. Right. I wish the best for Kroy. I really do. Because I know that house had to be a house of hell. Said Kroy lost all of his NFL money being with Kim. Yeah, absolutely did. Cam Lieber Girl says that Kroy should attend Destiny's event. Child, I don't know about that because Destiny, don't she owe $20-something thousand to LeBerick? How you holding events talking about money when you ain't even paid the money you owe? Anywho, Minky Finky says that Kroy, your parents told you that Biatch ain't shit, and they did, and he still married him. Okay, still married her. I was done with Kim on that episode where Kim had some type of event at her house in the backyard. She had those porta potties and told her mama she couldn't go in the house to use the real bathroom and she had to use the porta potty. I said, bitch, that's your mama. If anybody get to go in the house to use the bathroom, your mama should be able to use the bathroom in the house. You can tell your guests to use the damn porta potties. If your mama says she want to go in the house and use the bathroom, you let your mama go in there and use that damn bathroom. Now, I ain't like that shit. I was like, oh, that's your mama. You don't treat mama like you do everybody else. Mama get a little bit of privilege, right? Yeah, she had an event or something in her backyard on the show on Real Housewives of Atlanta and had all them damn porta potties in her backyard. And her mom said that she was going to go in the house and use the bathroom. And Kim said, no, you're going to use the porta potty, Mom. No one's going. I don't want anyone in the house. Me and Kroy have already said we don't want anybody in the house. So you can use the porta potty. I was like, girl, that's your mama. The hell? All right, so Crystal 525 says that man loved his family. He chose them over his own family. Said that Kim was used to sugar daddy papa. And Kroy was not prepared for her habits. Says drinking and gambling, scratch offs. Right. Says Kroy did his best. He really did. I feel bad for Kroy. I really do. Said, oh, Kroy, we told you not to marry that broad. And did. Cassandra G says that me says I can't stay in a miserable situation if I don't have peace at home. Says it is time to get the flip out. I know that's right, honey. I know I ain't staying nowhere where it's chaotic. Hell no. Said Dane Kroy looks like he found God. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Said that's wonderful. That's just wonderful, Kroy. Right. All right, but yeah, y'all, that's the end of our show. Thank y'all for the comments. Continue to comment. Keep commenting, right? Yeah, she told her mama that. She actually told her mama that on Real Housewives of Atlanta, child, that her mama could not go in her house. Me and Kroy, we have already, said that no one can go in the house. So, Mom, you can use the porta potty like everyone. I was like, what? No, let your mama go in there. Let mama go in there and use that bathroom. But, honey, no. So let's go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you to my top flight Mars, True TV Podcast, Tyra, KBR, Sweet Essence, Scorpion, Miss, and Rose Armstead. Thank y'all for a job well done of modding. Thank you so much, Miss Island Duncan, for the super sticker, dear. All right, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you to all the caramelians in the chat as well. All right. Thank you for the $9.99. Thank you, content creators. Content creators. Purple Unicorn, Simple Mom Family TV, Miss Didi, if you're here. JCD Creations, if you're in the building. Thanks for being here. Sunny Days, Queen Speaks TV. Thank you so much. Do we have anybody else? Shay Renee, if you're in the bushes, thanks for being here, love. All right. We're gonna get on out of here. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys ate well. Put in the chat what y'all cooked today. Okay. I made some barbecue chicken and I made some ribs. I made some green beans and I made some I made a little pan of dressing with some gravy. I don't know why I felt like dressing today. I know Thanksgiving is coming up, but I wanted some dressing today. So I made like a small pan of dressing and everything turned out to be delish. All right. With some sweet potato pie up in there. We got sweet potato pie for dessert. So yeah. That's what we had today. Just something quick and simple, child. Y'all put in there what y'all cook. I'm interested to see. But let's get out of here. You guys have a wonderful night. Unless we have some breaking news, I will see you guys tomorrow for Car Chronicles. Okay. Love you guys down until the next one. Bye.